Welcome back to my series of Rosh Hashanah and High Holidays videos for 2019. I'm so excited you're here because today we're talking more about food and entertaining for Rosh Hashanah and the rest of the High Holidays. There's a million of them, as you saw on my calendar. So today I wanted to talk about the ways that I approach meal planning and menu planning for the holidays. Last year I talked about traditional Jewish foods, which are still some of my favorite foods to offer. But this year I really wanted to think beyond that and to kind of freshen up my repertoire, maybe bring in some more kind of trendy, non-traditional Jewish foods that would still be appropriate for your holiday table. So I have three different ways that I'm approaching this year. The first category of thinking is about hyper-local seasonal foods, especially if you're in the Northern Hemisphere where it's fall right now. Now is like the ultimate harvest season. There's the harvest moon, the harvest holidays. We're gonna have Sukkot coming up where we're literally hanging fruits in our sukkah and we are celebrating the abundance all around us. And I am literally seeing that on my commute to school every day when I drive through the canyons and all of the olive trees are laden with olives right now. My crab apple tree in the front yard is going bonkers. There are these things falling everywhere on every road all along Mulholland, and all the moms are like, what are these things? And they are black walnuts falling from the trees right now. So with that in mind, if you live in a place as fertile as I do, I challenge you to look around you either in nature or in your markets and find something that is at the peak of ripeness right now and use that thing for your holiday menu. My item that I put the effort into this year was my crab apple jelly. Here are some of the crab apples and I am harvesting a huge bowl of them every day that are falling off our tree. This is great entertainment for my children. If you don't have fruit trees or if you don't live in a house with a yard, you could actually post on Nextdoor and find neighbors who have olive trees that are dropping fruit, crab apples, figs, or grapes. You can kind of source this stuff if you really put your mind to it, or you could pull over to the side of the road like I do when I see wild black walnuts. But this was something really special that I decided to do this year. Crab apple jelly truly is jelly for dummies. It can be a gift to guests if you're hosting a brunch. I basically followed a 3-ingredient recipe of crab apples, sugar, and water. Very basic instructions. I'll link them down below. And then for canning purposes, I have a blue book. It was a 10-minute water bath processing. So you could also just make jelly and keep it in your fridge, and that would be fine too. So crab apples are my special food, but looking into nature, you could even be decorating your tables for the holiday with greenery and local branches with those olives on them right now. So for me, I was very stimulated by this. If you look in Torah, all of the simanim or traditional ritual foods or symbolic foods, these are the foods that are ripe right now. And to me, that's very, very beautiful. And it's really beautiful to teach my children. And it's just really aesthetically beautiful as a person entertaining in her home. Now let me show you what I would do with something like this crab apple jelly. Here is a super simple platter. I picked up at the market these local gorgeous grapes. They sell them loose right now. A little bit of pomegranate I had left over, my crab apple jelly, a salty cheese. I have some crackers here on the side. Foods like this I find to be an easy method of entertaining, a way to satisfy a lot of different palates, and a way to sort of design or assemble something that's really gorgeous on my table. I am putting other in-season things like olives next to this, pearl-sized mozzarella balls. I took a carrot, which is a symbol for the Jewish New Year, and I cut some ridges down it, and that slices up looking like flowers. And then I even bought at the market, you guys, honeycomb in the comb. And I am such a sucker for this. My husband's like, oh no, not again. But I love getting honeycomb in the comb. You can buy them in the markets this way. Here is the giant entire frame of honeycomb that I'm gonna be taking to the preschool class. I'm so excited. As a mom to young children, I really like them to know where their food comes from. So this is something that's super gorgeous, could go on a cheese platter, could go on your apples and honey platter, and is just a novel and beautiful way to serve it that feels very fresh from nature. Next up, I want to talk to you about trendy recipes and where I'm looking for trendy recipes. Obviously, the Sababa cookbook is out, and that is the trendy cookbook that everyone is talking about this season. I haven't gotten my copy yet, but maybe I will. I was just flipping through non-Jewish, non-religious periodicals. I get Martha Stewart Living as well. This is September, I think. Yes, September issues. And in these magazines, I'm learning things about seasonal foods, and these things are applicable to me and my holiday. I don't know if you knew, but September is biscuit month. And what I really loved is that there was a honey butter suggestion. Whether you make biscuits or not, I think honey butter is a really delicious food and something novel that you might serve with your Rosh Hashanah challah this year. This was a beautiful serving suggestion of the sliced apples. There is an apple butter recipe in this Costco magazine and a deep dish honey crisp apple pie recipe. You could do apple crumble, apple crisp, but like just don't abandon those traditional recipes that you may make year round or all fall long that would be great for your Rosh Hashanah table. This Moroccan chicken dish served with dates. I love looking to cultures outside my own. Martha, you've really made Judaism mainstream. I love that you have a raisin challah apple Betty. This would be perfect for like second day Rosh Hashanah dessert, you guys. And I really loved this like ode to chicken. There is a sheet pan chicken with cherry tomatoes, a roasted chicken that's Peruvian style with potatoes. The last one that I really loved is like a milanesa or a chicken cutlet here. And so this would be kind of like your schnitzel. And kids love schnitzel, so schnitzel could be on the menu this year, guys. If you're a real traditionalist, these books are going to have, you know, what your grandma's table looked like. You're also gonna get some of that Judaism and ritual and blessings in these Jewish cultural books. Being a busy mother, I would say for me, I would pick one of these recipes probably and then call the deli or call the market and order the rest. I do love that you can just flip through these books and you get from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur to Sukkot, and so it's a very fluid planning process for me. You can set a table that has a centerpiece that is fully functional. So my centerpiece on this possible Rosh Hashanah table is my round challah, my honey. My husband couldn't believe it. I emptied a jar of honey with honeycomb into this candy dish. Everybody knows the kids really want to get at it, and there's no better way than to just take the honey out of the jar. There are some beautiful honey jars out there, but I say use what you have. For this year's Rosh Hashanah, I kind of love this functional table with a challah. We'll probably bring out some butter. I put out some dried fruits that the kids can nosh on while we wait. I got fancy with one thing on this table, and I made a little Torah scroll out of my napkin. For Yom Kippur, I probably would go with a simpler, more elegant white table with my white dishes and my white napkins, where we're celebrating and it's harvest and maybe is Sukkot. I would get out those dahlias or sunflowers or seasonal flowers and really embrace the color. But most of all, I say go with what you have. Bring in nature from outside. Bring in foliage that you're finding on the side of the road. If it's beautiful, if it has a pomegranate growing on it, all the better. I could talk about this forever. I could buy every jar of honey at the supermarket. I'm just gonna stop talking now, but I'm wishing you a very happy Rosh Hashanah, an easy fast, a beautiful Sukkot, and as you can see, we're going to be talking about these holidays for a while, so I hope you'll subscribe if you haven't already and stick with me till the next one. Take care and Shana Tova.